a driver that's pretty new and senior, so they're missing a little bit of that experience. So me going out there and feeling what the track is like, I can help them, with some changes and also driving stuff. So yeah, I think it's a big help having me and of course Alan out there as well.
And Frankie, again, welcome back to the seat. You've been here, you were at Trackhouse, finishing I think in 6th position. Looking at the strength of the Pro X30 field this week, do you think this is probably one of the strongest fields we've had, even though it's the end of the season?
Yeah, no, I think even compared to Pro Tour, I said it before the weekend started, that this is probably going to be the most competitive that's been. I really wish that Ryan would be here. That's kind of the only person that we're really missing. We have Joe, we have Ale, we have a lot of the experienced guys that run up front consistently and always give a run for the money. I'm really happy with our qualifying performance, and to be up front in qualifying against all these guys where I normally tend to struggle and have to race my way back forward. This is the best qualifying that I've had all year compared to the field that I've raced against.
And to Austin, some of the sort of you've flown under the radar a little bit. You've come in. There's drivers with bigger reputations, bigger bodies of work in the class, so to speak. But you're there. What do you hope to learn? 2 days of racing, the heats. From following or being just behind the lead group, almost as quick. How do you see your weekend panning out?
I don't know. I gotta kind of figure out how it's gonna go out throughout the heat races. Like you guys said, I haven't raced the X30 package at all since Supernats last year, so kind of gotta get back to grips with that. It's a bit different than the KA racing, so gonna have to figure it out through the heat races. So hopefully we can progress nicely and get a good starting spot for Sunday.
Kyle Cuthbertson with KC Socials. Frankie and Ale, you guys have been pretty busy the last couple weeks. Both of you were here for Pro Tour, and then you went off to Portland for the USF Pro Championships. Tell me about what the last couple weeks have been, going from the karting paddock to the car world, and then now back. You kind of think you guys had an off weekend. How's that been?
I haven't had an off weekend probably in a solid 6 months, so honestly, it's a good change of pace. It's going to start clearing out soon enough. There's a good feeling with our car season done. It's a bit less stressful, and especially for me being in the seat, always kind of having in the back of my mind an injury that can kind of put a good end to my car career, because that's always on the forefront of what I'm trying to go for in life. So I think I have a little bit of pressure taken off of me this weekend, and I think we're going to honestly take a step forward, and especially in my racecraft and everything else because of that.
Yeah, I've seen Frankie more than my family, so a break of Frankie would be nice after this. But we've both been busy. When I'm not here, I'm sure him as well, because I see him every week. When we're not here, we're at the track, at the kart track racing, traveling as well. So, but it's been good. I mean, I haven't been driving karting all year, so there's no transition for me in terms of driving. Just, I don't know, I go from coaching to driving, and I like coaching, so it's easy for me.
I mean, the battles are still there, right? You look back to a couple weeks ago, you guys fought for a race win. Can't remember, it was one of the street courses you guys went to. Ale, you were able to get that move done right on the last lap on Frankie. And this weekend, you guys find each other quite close to each other on the racetrack as well, right? How's that kind of going back and forth, finding each other up front, both in cars here and in the karting scene?
I'm going to get him back. I'm going to tell you that much right now.
I'm on the outside, so yeah. I'll just keep it full gas and pass him through the grass.
Into the wall again.
Me?
You hit the wall.
I hit the wall, but I won the race. Don't leave the door open on the last lap this time.
Well, fair play to both of you. Austin, as well, you've been quite busy, right? Kind of very similar to these guys, but you've been on the other side of the industry, right? Working with MPG, very, very busy. You guys have been very busy over at K1 Circuit Whiteland as well. How's the last couple of weeks been for you? Have you had an off week? And I know you're, I think, almost done with high school, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, going into my senior year this year, but I do online, so I can. I work full time at the shop with MPG. They're at Whiteland. And I travel with them for all the regional stuff, and usually just work on go-karts throughout the week, and then either help coach or race during the weekends at like all the regional stuff. So yeah, I've been pretty busy this whole summer and leading up to it. So yeah.
How do you think that's kind of changed your mindset driving-wise, right? Being more involved with team operations.
Yeah, it changed my mindset a lot because I know I can't wreck stuff because A, I don't want to have to change it, and B, because I don't want to have to put that pressure on those guys. So yeah, just calmed me down a lot, and I look at situations a lot differently than I would if I was just showing up to the racetrack and racing.
Thank you. Henry Bodette, Kart Chaser Broadcast Team Network. The track layout this weekend, you're coming down a long straight to the finish line. How important is the slipstream going to be? If the three of you went into the last lap and you're in a first and second place battle, would you rather be leading going into the last lap, or would you rather be second just behind going in to the last lap?
I would rather be second because every time I'm leading on the last lap, Ali beats me. So.
Okay, but is that because you think the slipstream coming out of the bend, the last corner, and that long run to the straight, that's going to be significant, that the person in second is going to get the run?
No, honestly, that was a joke. But I think first place does have an advantage here. The track's still tighter than it kind of makes out to be on the broadcast. There's not really too much that you can do around the outside, and you can honestly park it in most of the tight high-speed bits. So you kind of have a bit more control on the guy behind you. But I don't think it's going to be a two-kart battle. There's been a few guys with the same pace that we've had out front. In the long run, there's going to be the other guys that keep in there because we're going to be swapping for position a few times.
It was a hypothetical. If it was a head-to-head battle, there was two of you, first or second.
Sorry.
Track position.
My bad.
No, that's okay.
Nah, you didn't get the question.
Track position trumps slipstream on the last lap, you think, here this weekend?
You want to answer that again?
No,
You can talk.
because we know what he's like on the last lap. We've already established what Frankie does in the last lap.
Yeah.
So this
Quali
is just
lap
now to-
opens up all the way.
Now to Ali and to Austin.
I don't know. I think it depends a little bit. It's a long race. If it's a head-to-head battle the whole race, and you know where the driver's fast, where the driver's slow, what gear ratio he's on, you must have a guess of how they come out the corner, how they on the straight. I think it just depends on that. Like, if I'm on a lower gear, then I'd rather be second because I could just drop off to him and then pass him down the line. But I don't know. It just depends. I like being first. I like being the one in control. But if I know there's an opportunity to just get by him on the straight, and why not?
Yeah, I agree. I think it has a lot to do with how the gear ratio is. But I also think with the X30, it won't really matter that much because of the limiter. So for me, I'd rather just be leading going into the last lap and then not have to worry about it as much. Because whenever you get on the straightaway, you're always going to be thinking, am I going to be able to get him here or not? So I'd rather be able to just have that opportunity to block in the last corner and then fight it out at the end.
I think another thing I'm curious to hear about as well, right? Walking through the scale line as well. The grip, very, very grippy down there at scales. How is it out there on the racetrack for all three of you guys, right? Two of you guys on the left on the OTK chassis, you on the Kart Republic. How has the track developed throughout the weekend? How have you guys stayed on top of the changing conditions, if you will?
I know Ali said that it hasn't really evolved that much, but he hasn't driven really at all this year too, so maybe he just doesn't remember. Yesterday we were really quick, but we were also very different on setup than where we ended up for today's quali. It kind of caught us a bit off guard. I went P1 this morning and warm up, the first practice on some pretty raggedy old tires, and so kind of from then we knew what the direction was going to be and how the track was going to end up, and it's been really, really hot. Kind of the same as Pro Tour, so we're kind of finding out what we missed back then.
Ali, anything from you?
I mean, each driver is different, right? But to be honest, for me, it hasn't developed that much. I think it took a big step from practice one, unofficial practice, right? Practice one, practice two, we were pretty high in the fours, and then we got down to the low fours, and then it's just kind of stayed there. And then I think it got a little bit better today where we got into the threes. But I haven't touched much. I also just focusing on me, on driving, proving myself, because I've been out of it for a while, like I said, like we all know. I'm just trying to get consistent and get everything I can out of myself, and then after that, worry about the car.
What do you think's been different, this time out with the kart? If I look back to last year, right, you were on the Tony kart as well, and then you look back to this year, what's kind of been different for you this weekend?
I mean, we have the engine package that's working very strong. So big thanks to Alex for that and to Rollison. So yeah, it's been a big help. Obviously, it's important. And then big thanks to Rocket as well for, being on top of the chassis. We have made some changes, which we've always been improving. So
Joe's driving by us right now.
yeah,
He watches second and third.
he should be here.
He should be here. I'm sorry, Austin. Do you want to swap? No.
So yeah,
We're getting there, we're
Rocket
getting there.
as well. Yeah, big thanks to them. They've been working super hard. The pace has been good, not only for me, but for our K seniors, our K junior. We've all been really strong, all of us in the top 10 all week. So yeah, they've done an amazing job. So with the kart, I'm really happy. I'm happy with myself. Still a little bit to improve, of course, on myself. And the engine from Alex has been great from AVP.
For you guys, Austin, you guys obviously eighth. You weren't too happy with it when I called you over here. So how's it been for you in this? What have you kind of felt this weekend with the racetrack?
Yeah, I agree with him. I don't feel like it's changed that much since the end of the day yesterday. Maybe a little bit, like once we started happy hours because everyone started putting new tires on. But yeah, I think we need to make a few more adjustments to the go-kart. I feel really stuck in the center of the corner, but that was just me. But I think I know the direction we need to go, so we're going to figure it out for tomorrow.
Just last question from me personally. We mentioned that we've got 2 different chassis brands, OTK, Kart Republic. We've got 3 different teams represented in front of us. I don't know how many different engine builders we've got, for those. So 3 different engine builders. You're all veterans of the sport now. It sounds strange to say that, 18, but you are veterans. In the last couple of years, how have you seen this class or this championship or even the sport evolve and from maybe 2 or 3 successful teams to now 7, 8 different teams that can produce winning packages at every given weekend? And who will lead that off?
I mean, especially in the Pro X30 class, right when I kind of moved in, RPG was, exceedingly dominant, winning, going 1, 2, 3 and winning by over 10-second margins over kind of everybody else. But the sport's grown tremendously, and, that's why I kind of keep in it. The West Coast has grown a lot, and it kind of helps me a lot as well growing up, business-wise as well, too. I got to start making a little money because my dad doesn't want to keep funding all of it, And so, but a big thanks to you guys at Kart Chaser. It's made a big difference I've seen since you guys started. And honestly, that's been the biggest difference. And, obviously the prize packages from the series as well. The purse has gone up since I was younger, too. And so kind of the involvement from the series has made a really big impact, But we've been at the same tracks. It's been the same engine as it kind of has been in probably the last, 7, 8 years. And so kind of it's been the cycle of life with drivers, and that's kind of been the only real change.
Yeah, I agree with what he said. I think also taking a step away from driving, but as well being at the kart track, just coaching, it makes you realize how hard everyone works, all the teams. And I think people, not anymore, but people used to underestimate a lot of the American drivers, a lot of the American teams. Like, if they go to Europe, they're going to struggle, this and that. But you have American drivers going over there and winning. You have Turner Brown, you have quite a few that go over there and they do very well. And then you have European drivers that come over here and they don't win easy. Yeah, Joe has been great. He's a great driver, of course, and he's been pretty dominant, but he still has a fight with Ryan, with Austin, with all these guys every weekend. So I think people, not anymore, I think people now understand more about the U.S. racing. But I think every team and a lot of people in this paddock here in America, I think they're very talented, very good at what they do, very committed. And I think that's why everything has gotten closer now. I think all the teams work so hard. Like he said, Rollison had a step above in the last few years. But I think everything now has gotten a little bit closer. So it's nice to see.
Yeah, I agree. But another thing I think is karting nowadays, there's a lot more paths into it. So if say a driver from 10 years ago doesn't make it all the way into cars, they can come here and make a business and make a living out of starting a team now. And they can work and fight and do the same thing they kind of wanted to do, just not able to get into cars. But they're still able to come out here and race and help other people try and get to the car level. But yeah, Kart Chaser helps that a lot. The prize packages help that a lot. So yeah, I think like just more teams out here trying to figure it out also makes the competition better, which makes people want to watch it, and then it all kind of compounds there.
No, I agree, especially on the drivers, starting to become team owners and everything else. I raced Jars of Crack when I first moved into senior, and now he's got one of the biggest teams in the paddock that have a lot of success, and it's kind of the cycle that I was talking about as well too before. So.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, you have these young guys that are, I think Austin has the same thing where he's he already started his own little academy coaching thing. Same thing with Ryan, same thing with you. I think, and those are people with a lot of knowledge and a lot of years in the sport. And it's nice, it's cool to see how, even though I didn't do many years of racing with them because they're a little bit older, it's cool to see how they're doing their own thing, and, it shows that they know what they're doing. Same with Jars of Crack. I think it's really cool.
So how do you feel like that, Austin, over to you, right? You bringing up this point, how do you feel like that helps you out in your future, right? Wanting to stay in the sport and wanting to stay active racing?
Yeah, I don't know. I just have more, there's more people to look forward or to go talk to if I need advice or anything. More people to help out with that. So yeah, it just kind of it just helps the sport out in itself, because there's just so many more people you can talk to. You can get so many different points of view on anything pretty much.
Do you see yourself as a team owner or a team manager in the future?
I have no clue. I don't even know what next year looks like, so maybe not. I don't know.
Ali, over to you, right? You've been involved with a couple of teams, right? Parolin, PSL, Barellard. You look over at InterMS as well in your stint with them as a lead driver, Rocket Racing Company. How's it been, right, this last year working with that team and developing their package as well, right, in the senior categories and coaching all those young drivers?
Yeah, it's been great. I went from Inter to Rocket. It's obviously a pretty new team. Probably one of the newest here. But I think they're doing a great job. There's some things being, improved, and there's still some things to improve, but I think the performance is there, even though we're still working hard to make it better and better for the drivers and for all the customers. But being part of the team, and I have a lot of responsibility, to be honest, but it's really nice, and I like helping and seeing the team grow. That's every team I go to, I want the team to grow. I don't only think of myself. I think of everyone else, and growing the team and doing the best I can for the team in every way. As long as it's driving, coaching, helping with setup, whatever it is, I try to do my best. And yeah, I think Rocket has especially with the group of people that we have now, it has a really bright future.
Do you think that responsibility adds a little bit of pressure to you, do you feel?
Not really. I do my job. I do the best I can. I know I give the best. Even if results don't show sometimes, it's racing. So we could be the fastest in whatever category, but once we go racing, and the result is not always, what matters. I think it's having a good environment, having the right staff, which we do. It's all, team. These teams, the big teams work because they have the whole package. If you have the whole package and you do things right, that's how the team grows.
Well, thank you very much, you guys, and I wish you the best of luck going on tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
This broadcast is the sole property of Kart Chaser Group, LLC. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the images, audio, or accounts of this event, in whole or in part, without the expressed written consent of Kart Chaser Group, LLC is strictly prohibited. Thanks for watching.